So you want to change your reality? In this video, I'm going to share you a magical way to do that. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Fola, and here on Deep Mind Squared, we talk all things bridging mental wellness and spirituality for nurses. As many of you know, I myself am a nurse and have transitioned into a more spiritual and holistic approach to wellness. And this has included my own personal healing journey through shamanism. And that's what I wanted to talk about today is this underlying theme, I guess you could say, that goes through shamanism. And that is around our ability to create through our dreams. I didn't know going into shamanism that this is what this was all about, honestly. And obviously there's other aspects of it. But this is a huge part that I have taken away and continue to utilize in my life. And so I liken this to, the Matrix movie. There we have Neo and Trinity and this whole delusioned world where there is one reality and then there's this underlying reality that is actually the real reality. And sometimes it's much more simple and malleable than we can think. And what if this is actually what the world's like? So if you're interested in learning how you can start to shift and use the Matrix in your own life, then continue watching. And before we get into all that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're updated on future video releases. So how do we go about making these changes in our reality? First off, you need to understand that we are energy and everything is energy. It's just in different forms of vibrational status, if I can call it that, where we have very firm and tangible objects, like most of the objects that you see in the room with me that are solid and dense. And then we have the energy that is less dense and it's in our air, it's moving, it's lighter, it comprises of a lot of different compounds, and it's also the energy that we can manipulate or move and use to create changes in our life. Also, our thoughts are energy. So when we think about something, we are basically sending out this vibrational pattern into the universe, and it's going to show up in a certain way in which we are thinking. So within the world of shamanism, this concept that we are always dreaming. We have our sleep dream when we're sleeping, and we have the awake dream, which is our day-to-day, everyday life. And there's something really magical that we get to open up to as we step more into our healing, because it is important that we do our personal healing so that we don't get, bombarded with the ways things need to be, or based on old programming from society of how the world needs to operate, which you see in the Matrix movies with the concepts of, certain status and certain experiences and what people hold on to or attach to that they think is fulfilling, when in actuality it's just all nothingness. And so we can go into this concept of creating our life in both the sleeping time and the awake time, which then mirror into each other. They literally play and flow into each other constantly. So the beautiful part about this is that we can set intentions in going into our day life, but we can also set intentions going into our sleep time. And what if you were able to tap into a whole other aspect of yourself and possibility by setting intentions before you go to sleep, before you enter into that sleepy dream time state, and that then it played into the rest of your day. So this is a simple technique I'm going to share with you, and I just encourage you to play with it. It's not as intense as, say, some of the lucid dreaming techniques out there, where lucid dreaming is when you wake up in your dream time. I think with more practice within this, if you're not already doing lucid dreaming, that this will happen for you. But know that you can kind of play this role in your sleeping dream time that's almost passive, but still active. And it's going to bring you the results, bring you a sense of flow in your life without you having to actually actively participate. It's our subconscious mind and that part of us in the dream time has obviously more power than our small, whatever, do they say it's 8% of our awareness is conscious, and the rest is like, I think 92%, I'm probably making these numbers up, but I know it's pretty high, is subconscious. So if we can start to make the changes in our subconscious world through these intentions and entering the dream time, we can create some huge shifts in life. So first off, you're going to want to prepare for yourself for bed. Make sure you feel comfortable. Maybe you need to start having a bedtime routine or ritual that will support you with just relaxing yourself and calming yourself down, getting your mind clear on what it is that you actually hope to intend for. Because otherwise, I think people are like really distracted with a lot of technology. People who like have their phones and their computers in bed, or they have their TVs on while they're trying to fall asleep. Really encourage you to get some good like sleep hygiene into your life. Maybe it's having a bath and then turning off all the technology an hour or two before you even start going to bed, and start allowing your mind to slow down and enter into that deeper brainwave state. Otherwise, those blue lights from technology are always like blah, 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 keeping us up. So I encourage you to do that. Next, you're going to then want to take the time. You can grab yourself a nice journal or a piece of paper and write out what your intention is. You don't always have to write out your intention. I like to, because sometimes when I wake up, I might forget what my intention was, depending on what it was or how I wanted to word it exactly. And also, there's so much power in us writing down what it is that we want to see created in our life. They say that writing is like magic. It's like writing spells. That's why they call it spelling. So when you're writing down your intention, you want to make sure that it's in a positive statement. So if you're, say, trying to figure out some ways in which you can lose weight, you don't want to say, I don't want to be fat, or like, I don't want to overeat my food, whatever the thing might be. You want to make sure that you're writing it like, I choose to eat healthier meals, or want to incorporate some other ways in which I can bring nutrition and healthy eating into my everyday life. And there's a blue jay right there. Just a little side note. This blue jay just comes and flies every once in a while. Anyways, he's saying hi to everyone. Once you've written down this intention, then really set it into your mind. It might help you even to, before you go to bed, like you're laying in bed, just contemplating on this intention. You can imagine it like filling your body as if it was filling you with light, and really just enveloping your entire being. And you can also visualize what would that look like for you. But I think that's really active work. So if you're wanting just to play within the dreamscape, let's just set the intention, write it down, and allow yourself to go to bed right after that. And now what's going to happen when we dream? Things are going to come up. And if you don't dream, I would encourage you to just keep at this experiment. Don't lose hope or faith in yourself, because with time and practice and that dedication to create this change, then it will start happening where you will get more insights of the dreams. And I myself, I'm not a dreamer necessarily, though those gifts and skills are definitely improving. I'm much more the stalker, action-oriented person, as we would call it in shamanism. So my dream time, it's definitely improved, but there are some times where it's just like, I know I'm dreaming. I remember bits and pieces when I first wake up, and then it's just gone. Like, it just completely leaves. And that's totally okay. That blue jay is just like sitting here, just constant. It's really cute. So now you've slept, hopefully a beautiful sleep, and you wake up. What do you do first thing in the morning? Most people grab their phones. Don't do that. Stay in bed. Literally, if you need to set your alarm a few minutes earlier, please do this. But as soon as you wake up from the dream, turn the light on right there and write out what came up for you. Any details that arise that you remember, even if it's as simple as like, I saw that there was a mouse trap with some cheese on it. Whatever the case might be, just write it down on a piece of paper. And this is why a journal will be really great for you to have at your bedside. And just write down whatever comes up. I also like to write down the feelings, because like I said, sometimes my specific dream memory isn't all like sound, if I could put it that way. And I don't recall any details. I just know that there was a feeling or an energy. And I oftentimes feel that in my body. Like, it might feel anxious, It might feel really excited, or it might feel like really, really like joyful and pleasurable. I will write down all of those feelings. And then I just allow myself to free flow whatever comes to my mind or my heart and just write out pieces of that. The neat thing about doing this journal exercise in the morning is that the more that you write, the more your dreams will start to come, and those details, almost like this thread, everything will just like start to line up, and you'll get more and more and more information. And by the end, you could have a huge new insight about yourself that you had no idea about before, and oftentimes in relation to that intention that you set in the night. So this is a bit about using the dream time. I want to also just add to this that, as I said before, there are some people who we'd call dreamers and some people we call stalkers. Something that I've learned as a stalker is, compared to my dreamer peers who seem to get like huge insights in the dream time and hold like vivid images exactly about how they can go about like getting that intention or receiving that intention that they set in their life. What happens for myself is I find that I set my intention at night, and then usually the dream time will comprise of something that seems kind of irrelevant, something that might lead me to an understanding about myself, or just randomness sometimes, at least what I would call randomness. And then in the daytime, I find that's where my intention starts to play out. And I love this because to me, this is truly like that matrix. It's me realizing that everywhere I go is a reflection of my inner world and what I am working on. And this invitation for you to just be aware of what comes up in the daytime when you're going about your day-to-day life. Maybe you start to pick up and see, back to that intention around the healthy eating, different videos and people around you, you just pick up on words they're saying on like, hey, these are some things I've been doing around my diet, or like whatever the case might be. I know this is a very trivial example. I personally like to use the dream time to like work on some bigger things, but that's just me. Sometimes though, I do also just like to have fun. So you could do whatever you want. That obviously is within people's morals and values, I should say. So don't go trying to step into or step over someone else's boundaries. That's I guess a huge rule I'll just put out there. But yeah, watching all of this stuff just flow in the day-to-day, that to me is truly like evidence that I'm living in a matrix, this virtual reality, that I as an individual have the ability to create changes simply with my mind and using the dream time. So wherever you might be on your journey, experiment with this. Let us know in the comments how you found this technique, or if you've already been utilizing your dreams to create the world of your dreams. And feel free to like and share this video with anyone you think might be interested in learning more about this beautiful shamanic practice. And I will catch you all in another video. Take care.